Welcome to Catholic Views. I'm your host, Renee Kranz. On today's show, we have our new diocesan chancellor, Thad Pals. Will be here. He's going to tell us a little bit about himself, where he came from, why he decided to apply for and accept the chancellor position. But mostly we hear about his conversion story, which is very interesting. It's very emotional. It's very rare that we hear someone, especially a man, get emotional about their conversion story, but he really does. It's a beautiful story. I hope you will stick around to hear it. I ratted him out because if you don't watch the video, you wouldn't have maybe known that he was emotional, but he is. So first we have Dr. Chris Bergwald here for some Biblical Bites with Dr. B.
I'm excited too. I've been meaning for some time now to ask Thad his conversion story. Mm-hmm. So now first I'll watch the interview, and then I'll follow up with my questions for him.
Yeah.
Hey, Renee.
Hey.
What's today, Renee?
I think it's the 6th Sunday of Easter.
It is indeed. What's next Sunday?
Is it Pentecost yet?
No.
Ascension.
Yeah. Ascension Sunday.
Ascension is first.
Yeah. Yes. Jesus rises and then ascends.
Yes.
You should have just said 7th Sunday.
Well, then I'd be wrong. Oh, the next Sunday is the 7th Sunday? Yes,
But
I should have.
That's not true, though. It is Ascension Sunday.
Right.
It's not the 7th Sunday of Easter.
You don't even recognize it as 7th?
No, because there is a 7th Sunday of Easter where the Ascension is still celebrated on Thursday.
And in a diocese where they celebrate it that way,
Then
it's
next Sunday is the 7th Sunday of Easter.
That's awesome.
But thanks for playing, Elise.
Hey, we learn something new every day.
Right, exactly.
Especially when Dr. B is involved.
Oh, boy. Yeah, here we go. That's all right. Moving along. So the first reading for today, the 6th Sunday of Easter. We are coming down to it. A couple more weeks. The first reading is one of my favorite little narratives, little stories as told in Acts of the Apostles. It's about, so this is what it says. Philip went down... not to Georgia. Philip went down to the city of Samaria and proclaimed the Christ to them. With one accord, the crowds paid attention to what was said by Philip when they heard it and saw the signs he was doing. For unclean spirits, crying out in a loud voice, came out of many possessed people, and many paralyzed or crippled people were cured. There was great joy in that city. And then we go on to hear about how the apostles are also sent when they hear about everything that Philip is doing in Samaria. Peter and John come down and basically confirm them. Mm-hmm. But I want to focus on the first portion of this. Who's Philip?
Philip is one of the apostles.
He is, but that's actually not this Philip. So this is really...
Oh, this is a different Philip?
This is a different Philip.
Okay.
So...
I think I'd heard that once before, but I didn't remember that here.
Yeah, so this Philip is one of the 7 men who were chosen and ordained as deacons a couple of chapters earlier in Acts of the Apostles.
Deacons, not priests.
Deacons, not, and at this point, I mean, if you're a priest, you're an apostle.
So. Okay, sure.
So there is Philip the apostle, but what's unfolding here? This is Acts chapter 8. This is right after Stephen's martyrdom at the hands of Saul, aka Paul, and we read at the beginning of chapter 8, not this reading, but right before it, that because of the persecution that broke out because of Saul. Many of the Christians fled Jerusalem except for the apostles.
Okay.
So all the apostles stay in Jerusalem. That's one way we know that this is not Philip the apostle.
Oh, okay.
So there's 2 Philips on the scene in the early chapters of Acts. One of them is Philip the apostle. Mm-hmm. The other is the man chosen and ordained as Philip the deacon or Philip the evangelist. He'll pop up in the next chapter as well. But he goes down to the city of Samaria, and again, down. When most of us, what does that mean?
No map, south, usually.
Right, usually. But in this case, down. So Samaria is actually north of Judea. He's going down because Jerusalem is
yes. I remember.
Yes, you do remember.
I remember some things.
Even without Elise having not dropped the map yet.
Right.
Or, I mean, usually you just
map
sometimes...
on the screen. You have to tell us ahead of time.
Well, that's true. Fine.
Yeah.
Do all your work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes down with one accord. So remember the Samaritans. They're the distant cousins, the half-blooded heretics of the Jews. That's why the Jews really can't stand them. But with one accord, we're told, they paid attention to what was said by Philip when they heard it and saw the signs that he was doing. And we've talked about this a time or two, and it's come up, especially in the context of the work of evangelization in our diocese, especially with Set Ablaze. Signs and wonders accompanied the apostles. And not just the apostles, but also, in this case, Philip.
Right.
So Philip, the Samaritans accept and believe the gospel of Jesus Christ is proclaimed by Philip because he doesn't just say it,
right.
He shows it.
Right.
And he doesn't just show it in how he's living, he shows it by the signs and wonders that the Lord wants to work through him. So I want to be clear, this is not Philip, hey, I'm going to work some miracles. This is the Lord deciding, I'm going to manifest my power in a great way through Philip to bring about the conversion of the Samaritans. And we are invited to be as open to that possibility as Philip was then in our own lives today, to proclaim the gospel by word and deed.
Yeah, it'd be great to see a lot of that all over our diocese.
Amen.
Thank Dr. B.
You bet.